Hey everyone, I'm just going to walk you through a short tutorial today to show you a method of downloading all of the cloud fonts in Microsoft Office 365 applications on your computer. Now right now you can see that I'm on the Cloud Fonts in Office web page on Microsoft's site, which was last updated on June 11th, 2024. And there's a little bit of an explanation they provide here and some extra information regarding what these cloud fonts are, who can make use of them, etc. As I scroll down the page, you can see that there is a list provided that is very comprehensive, that shows all of the different cloud fonts available in your Office 365 installation. So there are quite a few of these fonts provided. So now if I go over and open up Microsoft Word here. I'm just in a blank document. You can see on the left side of the screen, if I go to the font list and click on it there are many fonts listed with little cloud icons you can see with a down arrow. Every single one of these are classified as the cloud fonts that would have to be downloaded because as of right now, they're not stored on the computer, which means in order to make use of them or to view them, you need access to the internet. So that typically wouldn't present an issue, but if there's a situation or something that occurs where you're not able to access the internet, you wouldn't be able to make use of those fonts. So I'm going to show you a way to download them all fairly quickly. And that way they'll be stored on the device and they shouldn't present any issue to you. And also it'll help you to make the font list maybe a little bit more tidy looking. As of right now, Microsoft does not provide a button or any way to do this natively in the app. So as of right now, you'd have to go through and click on each individual cloud icon to download it. If I click out of that list, now, the way Microsoft Office applications will work is when a font is selected, it will and used on the page, it will automatically download that font. But again, because there are so many of them, that would be difficult for someone to click on every single one to download them. So we're going to make use of what's called a macro to do this. It's fairly simple, and all a macro is basically a set of instructions that tells a program to repeat a specific task. So if I go up to the search box at the top of Microsoft Word here and click on it, now you can see in my recently used actions it already shows this, but you'll just have to type in macro, M-A-C-R-O, or if you want to use the plural with the S, and you can see it says view macros. If you click on that, it'll open up here and you'll have a box with nothing really listed in it. Now the first thing you'll have to do is you'll have to name your macro. Now one of the things you need to be aware of is whatever you name a macro, there cannot be any spaces. So in this case, we're going to name, since it's going to be used to download the cloud fonts, I'll just name this cloud fonts without any spaces. There we go. Now all you have to do is you go over and you hit create. Now this will open up a little text editor. Now there's going to be a little bit of coding here. This might look a little intimidating for some people, but it'll be very simple. You don't need to have any background in coding to do this. And I will provide this code obviously on the screen, but I'll also provide the block of code in the description so that if you need to, you can also just copy and paste it in. Now, this will be done in what's called Visual Basic, and I already have this copied in, so I'm not going to spend time typing it out. So I'm just going to paste it into the box here, and that's that. So you can see in the highlighted area, this is basically the block of code, this in Visual Basic. I'm not going to go through every aspect of this, but pretty much all this is doing is it will tell the program to begin at the first paragraph or the first line before any line breaks. So at the very top of the page, basically. So in paragraph 1, it will print out the name of the font in the font itself. So if, let's just say, Times New Roman, what this will do is when it comes alphabetically to that font, because they'll be listed in alphabetical order, when it comes down to Times New Roman, it will print out on the page in Microsoft Word the words Times New Roman using Times New Roman font. And it will do that for every single font. And that's basically what this code is doing. It will insert the font ID you can see there. The next, it will create a new line break or a paragraph, printing that font name in that font style. It will add a new paragraph, and this is basically a insert a carriage break is what it's referred to as. It's a carriage return in reference to typewriters, which basically just creates a new line or a new paragraph line. And it just basically repeats this. So that's basically all this code is doing. So all you have to do is we just hit the save button right there. It is now saved. I can just close this out. So you can just hit X now once you have hit save. And now you're back in Microsoft Word. If we go up to the top here and we go back to macros, you may have to type it in again, but it may show there under recently used. And you see there's our macro we created, Cloud Fonts. And if I just now hit the Run button, and if we cross our fingers here, it should just automatically print every font name in that font style on the page. Here we go. It's running in the background. It might take a second. There we go. Okay. It has Times New Roman. Okay, so it's not in alphabetical order, but we can see as I scroll down the list here, pretty much every font that is listed in the font list in Microsoft Word here has been printed onto the page. And you can see that every single font is printed in the style of that font. So it has the name and the style on their own individual line. So just basically, like we were talking about a moment ago, in the code, it prints out the name on its own line. Okay, I think it's still running a little bit in the background. So I'm going to give it a second so it's not too overloaded. There are quite a few of these fonts you can see here. Yeah, there it is. It's still going. Okay, so basically, that's all you need to do. I'm just going to wait just another moment here. Hopefully it'll be able to finish, but this laptop that I'm recording on is a little bit slow. If I go over to the font list now, I should see that as I look through here just at the top already, you can see that there are no cloud icons because those have all been downloaded. Now, as I scroll through the list, most of them should be downloaded right now. Again, because it's still technically running in the background, although it may have just finished, all of them should have been downloaded at this point. So you can see as I'm scrolling through the list, there are no more cloud icons there. And all the way down, there we go. Yeah, and it's all done. So there may be one or two fonts when you look through the list that may still have a cloud icon there, in which case there might be like an issue on Microsoft's side with the server to where it just wasn't able to download that specific font. If you click on it individually, it probably should be able to fix it. You could also just close out of Microsoft Word, reopen it, and it likely would have downloaded it as well. So hopefully that'll help everybody to be able to download their fonts, and just a quick macro to get that done since there's no button in Microsoft Word. Hope it helps, and I'll see everybody in another video.